The lesson we are doing today is 1-6, and that should be the last lesson in the chapter. So that means test is coming up, and actually in our reviewing tomorrow, our review day tomorrow, I do want to give you a quick little quiz on the last part of the chapter. I don't always do 2 quizzes, but this first chapter I want to make sure that we talk about everything we need to. So tomorrow there will be a quiz over sections 1-4, 1-5, 1-6. That's part of the chapter. Angles and their measures will be part of that. All right, the first notes, what is an angle? An angle is a figure, and it just consists of 2 rays. They have the same end point. Which part of a ray is its end point? Visualize what this would look like. 2 rays that have the same end point. The sides of the angle are the rays that form the angle. And the vertex is what we will call the common endpoint, where those rays are hooked together. So we still need to be able to draw a picture. So finish your notes and let's see what would it look like. It says it's a figure consisting of 2 rays that have the same endpoint. So here's a ray MP. Which point is the endpoint of that ray? M. So if I want to put another ray that shares the same endpoint, I'm going to make another ray at M. So here's another ray, M, N. So there's a picture of an angle. Excuse me? Like the hands on a clock? Yes. Okay. 2 rays that make an angle. So the sides of the angle would be ray MN and ray MP. The vertex is M. Capital M communicates that that's a point name. Well, there would be some problems where you're just naming the sides and you're naming the vertex. So use the correct notation for that. There is an angle symbol, and that's probably going to be on like my next screen, but I'll talk about it while I'm waiting here. To name the angle, we will use an angle symbol and use the 3 points that are identified on the angle. So I'm going to start on one side, N, then go to the vertex, M, and then go to the other side. So angle NMP. Vertex cannot be the first letter. You have to start on one side. What if I start on the side that has P? Then I go to the vertex and then to the other side. So the vertex is always that middle letter. Now if there's only one angle that is in the picture at that point, I can just say angle M. That would be the easiest, quickest. Sometimes our pictures will have numbers in them. The numbers are not points. The numbers would be a short way that we can do the angle. Remember the cursive L for lines or the cursive capital letter for planes. Okay, the 2 is the shortcut here. You can use it to name the angle also. Now, if there's more than one angle in the diagram, you can't say angle M, and I'll show you that. I think everybody's done with these. I'll show you that on the next screen. Anyone still need the notes? All right, so naming angles is what I was talking about. Let's see if you can name it correctly. So So here's an angle. Why don't you grab your marker board? That way I can see if you're writing it right. Okay, I would like you to name the angle in as many ways as possible. Name that angle. Didn't realize that when I wrote it up there. What it is. Probably another way you could name it. The last one's not right. You could come up with another one. This one. There should be 3 that you can get. What should the middle letter be? P. P. Okay, so I'm looking to see if P is your middle one. Because the vertex, the corner is the second point. So you should be naming, it could be angle CPR, angle RPC, or angle P. All of those would be correct names. Okay, now name the vertex and then the sides. So what's the vertex and what are the sides?
Do we have to name the sides in all the ways?
I think there's only one way that would be correct. Because your first one is actually not correct. What's your first side? Say it starts at. I wouldn't put the vertex as an angle. It's just a point. Your sides aren't right. Your sides are okay, what are the sides? Are the sides points? No, they're rays. Okay, so look at your naming of sides. The sides should be ray, PC, and ray, PR. In that order, because rays start at an endpoint and then keep going, so reversing it you can't do. The vertex was point P. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, I'm going to give you a picture that has more than one angle on it. So this really has at least 4 angles. I'll call that point A, R, M, P, and C. All right, I'm going to put a number right here. I want you to give me other names for angle 2. What are some other names for angle 2? 3 letters. Point from one side of angle 2, then its vertex, then the other side. 4.
I don't think you realize what you spelled it.
And then so I just saw her as oh, those are mine. Got your angle symbol? My first name is Pam, so I see no, I don't think you can come up with all those. Excuse me, we're doing angle 2. Other names for angle 2.
I'm still.
Oh,
And the angle symbol, see my symbol up there for the 2? Okay, now on this one, you can't do angle A. And that's why I made this picture. Why can I just not say angle A? Yeah, there's more than one. Angle 2 does have a vertex of A. The angle over here has a vertex of A. This one has a vertex of A, and this one. So if you say angle A, I don't know which angle you're talking about. So you've got to use the 3 letters. So you've got way too many there. Okay. I only want this as the angle that's named. So angle PAM or angle MAP. If you're naming angle PAC, you're naming the angle over here, which is not angle 2. So some of you had extra ones, you can't name that many. All right, now I want the vertex and I want the sides of that same angle 2. That's the vertex. What are its sides? Vertex and the sides. Why don't I have you discuss this with your partner? Remember how I paired you up, the outside rows and then the middle ones together? You just put everything together. Compare those answers. See a few errors in something that's written, so look at what your partner has. Discuss. Should be
Okay, is it
I don't
vertex of angle 2? It should set all the sides, and she wants the vertex and the sides. So it'd be Ray CO and Ray RP.
just point, see, like point P would be on that side of the what? I don't know. What's the corner?
Carrot.
And then the other side.
It's just there.
So that's what I got there.
Okay, so she wants the vertex, which is A, and then a whole side.
The vertex,
Side would be the whole entire object. So it would be C, F. And then another whole side.
the sides start with A, and goes to P.
So your sides are the lines.
So Ray AP, and the other one is All right, let's make sure you and your partner did it right. The vertex was point A, the sides were Ray AP, and Ray AM. Have to be in that order. Raise your hand if your group did it right.
Oh, it's cross.
All right, and if you didn't, did you discuss it correctly? I thought somebody had a number 2 when they were doing the naming. 2 is not a point. So 2 would be a way to label just the angle, nothing else. Okay, let's do another one in this same picture. Okay, without completely erasing it, let's put a 3 over here. Okay, I want the same things but with angle 3. So give me other names for angle 3. And then name the vertex and the sides. All related to angle 3. Rather than show me, we're going to discuss with our partner. Get everything answered first. Give everyone a chance. Who's not your partner this time? She's your partner. For this week, didn't I assign you different ones? Those rows?
No.
I didn't? Okay, must have been in my others. Okay, for this week, I was doing, these rows are paired up, and then these two, and these two. So that was different than who you had last week?
Yeah.
So those two come together? Okay, sorry. Are you ready to discuss? Okay, talk those through with your partner.
Understanding.
These are the 2 sides of A.
Yay. What'd you put? No, it's right.
Vertical to 2, that's the. So you're supposed to be doing this
Pro
one.
wrestlers, and they started themselves with
Yeah.
That's the one we're doing this time. Okay, answers were angle RAM, angle MAR, not angle A. Okay. Vertex was A, sides were Ray AR, and Ray AM. Okay, 100%? Okay, and if not, hopefully you discussed it and you know what you're doing. All right, so there's some naming of angles. Let's go to measuring angles. I'm pretty sure that checkpoint is what I just had you do. Measuring an angle. The measurement angle is the degrees that shows how far the rays are rotated apart. If the rays are real close together, the angle is going to be small in degrees. If they're rotated further and further apart, you're probably familiar with a 90-degree angle, as being like a right angle. So the M that is in front of the name of the angle, that's the indication that I want the degrees. The measure of the angle is what that means. The measure is its degrees. Degrees is the unit of measure for angles, and that symbol, the little raised zero, just like you do on temperature degrees. That's the symbol that we will use. And protractor is the measuring device that we use. In the packet, that's the orange pen. Using a protractor. And you will need a protractor for tonight's homework. If you took a packet yesterday, don't take another one. I only have so many of them. I might need them in other class periods. And if you can, bring it back so that I can add it to you. Yeah, I want to have so many of them. And protractor is what I have the least of, I guess. I don't want to lose my protractors. Anyone still need the notes? Okay. All right, so let's grab the protractor out. Yours is not exactly like mine. Yours is orange and doesn't have that kind of bubble on it. But I need you to take a look at your protractor. You've got where the protractor is lined up with the zeros, and then they probably have a little marking going up to the 90. That point right there is important. When we measure an angle, you're going to put that point on the vertex of the angle. Which corner is the vertex of an angle? It's the common one where they hook together. Okay, so basically the corner of the angle. And then you will rotate the protractor so that either this side is lined up with one of the rays or the other side. It really doesn't matter which one. So if you do that, there's going to be another ray going like out here. How do I know whether I'm going to use the inside or outside numbers? It depends upon which side you've lined up with the ray. In the situation I have right here, I've lined up this side, so start there with 0. So this would be the inside numbers, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It's not quite 60, it's 50, I would say 8. So that was a 58-degree angle. If it's larger, let's say I lined up this side. There's my vertex. I'm gonna turn it so that this side is lined up with 0. Notice that now I would use the outside numbers. So if it goes around to about here, that angle would be 130 degrees. A lot bigger angle. So we're going to practice measuring some angles. So you need to line up the vertex with that crossing point and then turn your protractor so that one of the rays is lined up with a 0. And that's the number that you start with as you go around. Okay, so here's a little worksheet. See if we can get this done in class today rather than taking it home. We're going to measure the angles that are on here. First one, there's only one angle. When you get down to like 7, 8, 9, 10, there's more than one angle in that picture. Measure the one that I told you to measure. All right, we'll take a few minutes to do some protractor measuring. I guess maybe that would be something to come in and have me go through with you. Okay, back to your notes. Congruent angles are angles that have the same measure. So if there's 2 angles that each measure 10 degrees, they're congruent. As far as markings, in a diagram, I think I put that up there just a little bit ago actually. If I have a diagram where I want to show, let's say I want angle 1 and 3 to be congruent, markings that would go in the diagram, instead of the tick marks like we put on segments, you put a curved tick mark. So if I want angle 1 to be the same as angle 3, that's what it would look like. So the curve marking that's in there indicates that they're congruent. Sometimes we have to put 2 curves or 3 curves. At times I'll put a curve and a tick mark through it. You'll see as we go on if I need to do multiple markings, how we would indicate that. Okay, so the symbol right here means what? Congruent. So angle B is congruent to angle T, which according to this definition means the measure of angle B is equal, to the measure of angle T. The measures are equal, the angles are congruent. Same type of thing over here. The angles ABC and RTS are equal, or are congruent, their measures are equal. Okay. Anyone need the notes? So far we've had congruent segments and we've had congruent angles. We keep building to get something more and more. Done? Got what you need? Okay, your textbook, I guess I need to make sure that you know. Your textbook has kind of a strange way, I guess it's really not strange, but just to make sure you know. Okay, this picture and this picture, the markings would tell us something different. If they put the marking in here, just like that, that means the small angle is 80 degrees. Okay? If they put a arc and then put the angle, they mean the whole thing is 110. So look for the color coding. If there were an arc here, it would only be that far. That is 80, but this whole thing is 110. Okay, so just by the way, that's how they do it in your book. Okay, we can classify angles. Now you've measured them. You're going to classify whether it's right, acute, obtuse, or straight. An acute angle, those are the small angles. If an angle measures from 0 to 100 or to 90, or between 0 and 90, if you had a 0-degree angle, there's really no angle. But if it's 0 to 90, it would be an acute angle. So the acute angles are small. They're not very far rotated apart. A right angle is exactly 90. So acute cannot be 90. It can be up to 90, but not equal to it. A right angle, there's a marking that we usually put in those, and it's just that square corner. That would indicate that it's 90 degrees. The fat angles, the obtuse angles, those are bigger than 90, but less than 180. So they've rotated quite a ways around. A bigger angle, obtuse. And then a straight angle, you might not think really looks like an angle. But a straight angle would be if one ray is going that direction and the other ray is going completely in the other direction, that angle rotation is 180 degrees. It's going to look like just a straight line, but if you think of it as two rays, then it's an angle in between there. So acute, right, obtuse, straight. Go back to that worksheet that we measured those angles on. You've got measurements of 10 angles there. Just right beside it. Is it acute, right, obtuse, or straight? Classify each of those angles. The one that I had you measure. Whichever one I had you measure, just classify that one. 7, I had 90 degrees. Okay, so number 1, why don't you shout out with me what it was? Number 1 was? Number 2? Number 3? Obtuse. Number 4? That one was obtuse, wasn't it 95 degrees? That's between 90 and 180. Okay, number 5? Acute, because it was 70 degrees. Number 6? Obtuse, quite obtuse. Number 7? Right. At least I had 90 degrees on that one. If you had 89, you called it acute. If you had 91, you called it obtuse. It was exactly 90, it was right. Number 8? Acute. 9? Acute. And 10? Obtuse. So that's just based on what they look like. I didn't give you a straight angle, so you didn't have that. All right, and the last thing is the angle addition postulate. You can add angle measures together to get bigger angles, and this is the theorem that just clarifies it. We'll draw a picture and put some numbers in to help you understand it. If P is on the interior angle RST, that's the interior of the angle, that's the inside part of it. P is on the interior of angle RST. I'm going to draw this ray then going right through it. So that's the picture. It says then the measure of angle RST, the whole thing, is equal to the sum of the measures of angles RSP and PST. This is just like what we did with segments. We had that segment addition postulate. It said something like the length of AC is AB's length plus BC's. That's what we did with segments yesterday. This is the same thing but with angles. To get the measure of the whole angle, you'd add the measure of each of those smaller angles together. As far as measures, this one looks like about 20 degrees, and this one is maybe 50 degrees. So what is the measure of angle RST? RST, the whole great big one. 70, because you are adding 20 and 50 together, so it's 70 degrees. Okay, that's all that postulate is saying. Saying you can add angle measures as long as they are side by side, hooked together like that. If I gave you the whole thing and one of them, you would have to subtract to find the other small one. So you'll do some adding or subtracting on some angles here. I'm going to give you one more example before we break down what our assignment is. We didn't leave ourselves too much time today. We took too long on our building. Notes done? Okay, so find the measure of the angle here. Okay, I'm going to tell you, let's go this way. I'm going to tell you that is that much. This angle, it's a different color, 30 degrees. I want the measure of angle ABC. Look at my colors. Can you tell the difference in colors there? Look at the colors in which angle I'm giving you. Second one, the measure of angle XYZ. On that first one, what did I do? What's the 138? Which angle is it? I'll put a D here, I guess. Okay, the 138 is the whole thing, that's angle ABD, and then what's the 30?
The angle
The little one, CBD. Okay, so yes, you subtract to find ABC. We do 138 minus 30. 108 degrees for this angle. 108 and 30 makes 138 total. And on the second one, what did I give you for the angles? 18 is angle XYM. 70 degrees is angle MYZ because I didn't put any curve in the picture. So how do I get angle XYZ's measure? Add 18 and 70, which is 88. Okay, that's the type of thing that you'll do, and this is what the assignment is. Out of the book, page 38, and you do need a protractor. So pack it along if you did not take one last time, but bring it back. The evens on the end of that. We will be taking a quiz tomorrow. I want you to look over page 41, problems 1 through 14. I'm going to say that because we're kind of to the end. I'm going to say that's optional. So you don't have to do the 1 through 14, but it is reviewing for tomorrow's quiz. So it'd be a good idea. Those of you that are associated with resource, especially, I would say yes, you should do that 1 through 14. It would benefit everybody. Only the reason I'm putting it optional is we're almost to the bell.